Hello, welcome back to my channel. This is gonna be a pretty different type of vlog. I don't even know really why I'm doing this, but I'm like, YOLO. So basically what I was thinking is that I always kind of just not doze off, but I go away and then I stop recording things whenever I'm going through a rougher time at school and all that, which is fine. I think it's normal that I do that because I'm busy taking care of myself. I also realize that usually when I do that, I just go away for a really long time, and when I come back, I'm like, hey, everything's fine, had a rough time. Which again is fine, but I feel like sometimes the roughness of it gets lost a little bit in translation. And I don't want to, again, I don't know why I'm doing this. I don't want to scare folks. Law school can be hard and it's fine, but you can get out of it, right? And so right now I'm in kind of what I call my low energy weekends, where I'm just kind of going through the motions. And it's not super exciting, it's not super fun. I don't really want to be doing this. I don't want to be here. And sort of those thoughts, but it's kind of still finding energy and finding small joys to push through and to just keep going at it. And so I figured I would kind of just vlog one of those low energy weekends and show the little ways I try to get myself back into high energy mode, going back to school and getting ready for a new week and trying to find just ways to rest and take care of myself over the weekend. And it's not perfect. Most low energy weekends tend to just be me being glumly. My computer, I hardly go outside. I, spend a lot of time cleaning, and that's just what I do to try and feel productive and try and improve my mood, sort of thing. So today's Friday, I don't have classes. It's 1:40 p.m. I woke up at 9, and I had a meeting at 10, meeting at 11, meeting at 12, and a meeting at 1. So I've been pretty busy since I woke up. I got up, I made oatmeal, had some tea, and I've just been sitting on my computer this whole time, and I'm about to go back to my computer right now. When I came with this great idea of wanting to vlog, and I haven't ate, so I was literally hitting up my food when I thought of doing this. It is November, and I'm wearing a Christmas sweater. And I will say that I did put up Christmas lights. Oh, that looks so freaking pretty. Because it's one of the things that helps me feel better about life and about being stuck inside doing school things. So that's one of the things that I like to do during this finals prep era, low energy weekends, that sort of thing. So I did take out my box of other Christmas things that I'm going to be putting up slowly throughout the weekend and the week. And I'm doing laundry right now, which is also something I do. Again, just trying to feel productive. So I'm going to go sit at my computer, and Elisa and I have started doing finals prep, which means we're doing a lot of hypos. And I fell behind because I traveled during the week to go home this past week. And so coming back was just not as fun as I thought. And I have a lot of things to do. So I fell behind by one hypo. So I'm just wrapping up the first one that I should have done yesterday. And I'm going to do the one that I need to do today. And then her and I will be meeting at 3 to go over them. And then after that, I'll be going to the store, because most of the time when it's a low energy weekend, usually coincides with me not having anything in my fridge, which I'm sure there's a lot of correlation between those things, because it's just, again, eating crumbs and not having the brain to do anything. So one of the things I do is I go to the store to get myself out of the funk, usually try and get myself a little snack, something to makes me feel good, or like plan a good meal. I'm gonna make like a vegetable soup that I saw online that is like vegetables. You boil them, but then you blend them and then have that boil again. So it's like very soft sort of vibe. So I've never had one of those before. It reminds me of a curry, but I'm gonna do that. And maybe I'll make like arroz con leche or something. And just try and vibe, have a good time, have a cozy time. So this is a pretty long intro, but that's gonna be the vibe. So stick around and watch me have a low energy weekend where the goal isn't really to be productive, it's just to try and survive and get energy and focus back for the next week. So if that seems interesting to you all, or sometimes you feel this way, stick around. Update, still working. It's on second hypo now. It's 3:40. My friend actually pushed our meeting at 4, so I'm still working, but I moved to my bed. Back home growing up, I didn't have a desk, so I would always do homework on the floor. So sometimes this is just a nice throwback for me. Yeah, so I'll be going to the store still, same plan, but everything just got kind of pushed back. So I'll tell y'all later. All right, finished waiting for my friend to finish. I'm gonna start folding my clothes and tidy up a bit before meeting with my friend and heading over to the store. All right, I just finished FaceTiming with Elisa. We went over the 2 hypos that we did. And it was crazy. It was so much fun. Said no one ever. I definitely still feel very anxious about everything. I still need to go to the store. It's definitely getting later now. It's darker. My lights are still up. But I need to go to the store soon. Doesn't mean it's gonna get dark soon regardless, so it doesn't really matter. The store's close by, but I'm also just like, we were talking about how, you know, people are getting sick and it's like flu season and like whatever, and like trying to stay healthy during this time, because literally during this time we're so anxious and stressed and like not eating well, not sleeping well, whatever. Not like on purpose, but it just happens sometimes. So I'm literally gonna go, like I said, get this thing to make a soup, be drinking tea, be drinking water, really trying to not be sick. And if like, you know, any sort of like secret sickness I might have, nip it in the bud. Just because she just gets a couple days ago, and like we literally do everything together, so it's like a likely chance sort of. So that's kind of how it's going. I feels good to have reviewed that, and like it was the worst. I literally did like the first hypo yesterday super late. The second hypo, it took me way too long to work on today, and I still have papers to review for like the class I TA for, and I said I would get it done by the week, and it's Friday, so I have to do that today when I come back from the store. And it just sucks because I have to just get it done and like prioritize that, because it's a deadline that I have, like responsibility that I have, when really all I want to do is keep like studying. I tend to really like hyper fixate on like one thing when I get anxious or whatever, just so I can like just accomplish that one thing and then I move on. But it's hard to do that when I have other deadlines and other things that need my time and require my attention. Like all the meetings I had this morning, I just feel like the whole day just went by, and it doesn't help it gets dark earlier, because then I feel like it's literally nighttime, even though I still have time in the day to work on things. So yeah, that's sort of the update. I told Elisa that I was making this vlog, and she was like, why? Like, they're gonna see you crying. Because it is rough out here, but we are trying our best. So I'll update you when I come back from the store, or whenever, maybe when I make the soup. Got back from the store, and then I decided I didn't want to make the soup tonight. So I just toasted some bread slapped some Nutella on there and some bananas. And that was my dinner. I did a lot of cool teas. And I'm gonna have a orange spice tea later. I'm gonna focus on grading the papers I need to grade. And I was thinking of reading for community property, but I'm on call and it's too late for me to really focus. And I don't want to turn on the overhead light, so I want to keep it ambiance. So I think I'm just gonna put up on the wall what Elise and I went over last weekend. So they're just like memorization vibes and just get like a clear outline of a section of the class that we did already. So that's gonna be the plan. And I'm pretty sure that's gonna take me up until bedtime. It's already 7:37, so update you. An update. I was doing work. Wi-Fi started acting up and I almost started crying in the club because so much of what I do is based on Wi-Fi that I was freaking out, especially because I have like 5 more papers to grade and they're so annoying. So I still need to do that. And I think I'm gonna just like stop after I finish that and clean my room while I watch an episode of one of my favorite shows, Velvet, on Netflix, and call it a day. And I feel like I barely did anything, but it's fine. It's fine. Wake up. I'm gonna try and wake up early tomorrow to go on a run because that's like a new goal of mine, and go from there, follow the final schedule that Elisa and I came up with, and try and do the reading that I intended to do today some point tomorrow. Update you then. Okay, I'm awake. Way later than I wanted to get up. And then I did my Duolingo lessons in bed and decided I don't want to go on a run anymore. And I think I'm going to do a kickboxing routine. I love doing that, but also I'm hungry, so I'm not going to do that right now. And it means I'm not going to really do it that soon because I need to have a break between when I eat and when I work out. Yeah, so I'm basically already behind. Love that for me. And I'm going to a panel later today. My immigration professor, he's going to be doing a panel for the release of his new book. And I'm going to probably leave at 2:45 or something. It starts at 3:45. So, yeah, that's the goal. That's the plan. The goal is to get some shiz done before I leave and to look human instead of just wearing a sweater all day and looking like this. So that means I definitely need to like work out and shower earlier so I can like be ready and look presentable. Yeah, so I'll update you whenever anything happens. All right, I've literally been working on my corporations outline this entire time. I did not work out. I'm not going to. I'm just gonna shower and start getting ready to go to the event I'm gonna go to. I haven't had lunch. I haven't cooked. So I'm gonna have chicken nuggets before I leave. They're giving us dinner after, but I haven't had lunch. So I'm gonna eat something before I go regardless. And after doing laundry yesterday, I basically still have everything out. So I need to like put things away and like do my bed and whatever. Like I said, low energy weekend. I am just trying to chill along and do what I need to do. And I haven't done like a mini quiz that Elisa and I are going to review tomorrow. So I'm going to have to do that when I get back. And I also haven't finished grading the papers because whenever I start getting really tired and just bored, I prefer to just stop because I don't want to not give good feedback to folks because I'm not in the mood. So I still have like 4 more to go. But I haven't finished because I needed to focus on my own stuff, like studying, you know? So gonna be doing that. That's gonna be the vibe. Watch me turn and look human for the afternoon, just so I can come back and basically be continued in this low energy state, which is what I do all the time. And y'all are watching it this time. So yeah, I'm probably gonna walk to campus, and that's gonna be a little bit of my exercise, just to get out there and see the world. I'll see you later. I'm wearing real clothes. Eating my chicken nuggets with chopsticks because I need to put makeup on my face. And I need to skedaddle. It's 2:52. I'm gonna meet a friend at 3:30 so we can walk over. Panel starts at 3:45. So let's go. Cheers. All right, I'm ready. Do I look human? Wearing this old thing, this new thing from, I think it was Marshall's. I'm ready. Somehow it got so behind that I had to call a freaking Uber. Which is embarrassing because I'm literally going to school where I can walk or take the bus at, so. Okay, y'all, I am truly alive now. This is what I mean. Y'all saw like was busted the whole yesterday and earlier today, and like no mood to do anything. Well, I'm back, baby. I had this panel that I went to. Bill O'Hing, my professor of immigration, he invited us to a panel. Like, this is his brand new book. You can probably find it on Amazon. Haven't read it yet, but I'm sure it's amazing. And so basically there was like this whole conference all day, but I didn't have time to go for the whole thing, and I only went for the panel that he was moderating, where he like invited a bunch of like super really awesome people who did amazing who do and did amazing work in like the immigration field, like throughout the country, and just like amazing people, like so like such a powerful room, y'all. Like it was so great. And like my former like bosses of like that I was clerking at this past summer were also there. One of them was on the panel, and like a few other coworkers were there. And obviously my professor for like property, and like the professor I tutor for, I just remember that I haven't finished grading the papers, was there with his wives. Like I got to like just speak to different people, and I went with one of my friends who has also been really involved with like, the immigration stuff on campus. And so we went together, and like it's just so re-energizing to go to those things. And the whole time I was like, I don't have time for this. Like I need to be doing all this stuff, and I'm behind, and like yada yada yada. And I still feel that pressure for sure, but like at least now I'm like literally alive. I got reminded for why I'm doing this in the first place, why I want to be here, why the show is worth it, and like how valuable this degree will be, and how valuable like all the work I've been doing is for people in their lives. And like that's just a reminder. I know I've said this before, whenever I go to other panels or like dinners where I'm confronted with like a powerful room and like meeting people and just hearing the discourse of like what they've done, what they do, and why they do it, is amazing. And I've said it before, like it's just like search for the things that fuel you. And like I mean, I probably would not have skipped out because I was going with a friend, but if it was just me, I probably would have skipped out because of how I was feeling these last 2 days. But I'm so glad I didn't, because now I actually have energy. I feel rejuvenated, revigorized, and like really just like ready to hit the ground running again with everything I have to do, and like really trying to stay on task and get it done. So I think 6:40 p.m. is literally almost nighttime. What I'm gonna do is finish getting those freaking papers and cook the dinner, because I haven't done that, and then do the mini quiz thing for the corporation thing that like my friend and I are going to review tomorrow morning, because I haven't done it. So if I haven't done it, how are we going to review it? So I think those are going to be like my 3 main orders of business. And then I do want to put up on the wall what I have ready to be put up on the wall, because I have not done that yet either. And there was no point in doing that if it wasn't going to go up on the wall. So I'm going to do that. I might even like sneak a little peek at the book, because I mean obviously I just got it, He actually like signed it and like wrote a little message for me, which I love, and kind of get that going. So yay. Hopefully this vlog has now turned its frown upside down, turned its frown upside down, and it'll be a little more lively moving forward. Fingers crossed that this doesn't just last like an hour. So I'll update y'all later. Okay, I haven't updated y'all in an embarrassing amount of time. After I got back, I finished grading the papers. We had like a roommate meeting. I prepped for the soups. I cut up all the vegetables, cleaned my room, added a new Christmas decor up there, and now I'm gonna sleep. Yeah, I'm not gonna say what time it is because it's crazy, but yeah, tomorrow's Sunday, so I'll still keep you all updated. Good night. Okay, I'm up, but I haven't left my bed. I've been doing that a lot lately, like waking up and not getting out of bed for like an hour, which is horrible. I hate doing that because I just literally get lazy and unproductive and waste time. But anyways, I'm still in bed, but it's 8:30, I think, so not horrible. Elisa and I are meeting at 10. I still need to do the thing that I need to do before I meet with her. I'm not feeling like super hungry, so I think I'll be fine. I'm like gonna go do bathroom stuff, maybe put a tea on and sit down and do that before I meet with her, and then have breakfast or something before I chat with her. So yeah, that's the update. Okay, finally meeting with Elisa. Let's go. All right, so it is 12:30 now. Finally made the soup, and I made arroz con leche, which is what I had for breakfast. Yeah, I had breakfast like 20 minutes before my lunch was ready, so I won't be eating my lunch. I'll eat that later, which is perfectly fine. And now I'm very much don't want to sit back down at my desk, which I already am at, but I just want to do this. I need to work. So like our schedule right now for finals is for corporations, but we obviously still need to like stay on task with our other classes. So I need to update my evidence outline, make more evidence flashcards because I didn't finish them. Like I'm not done making evidence flashcards. There's so many rules to memorize. So yeah, basically that. I need to update my evidence and my community property outlines just to make sure I'm like where I should be. And I want to make more evidence outlines, more evidence flashcards. And I also basically have been straight up ignoring my 2 jobs this week. Nothing pressing or like emergency style has happened. So I've just been kind of like cruising, not doing much, but I know I have tasks. And I need to do them sooner rather than later. So I do have some time scheduled for that. And then later today, I'm supposed to do some memorization for corporations. And my outline that I worked on yesterday was kind of a mess. A lot of questions, a lot of things I don't understand. So I do need to go back and spend a lot of times with it and become besties with my corporations outline, which is very difficult to do because this subject matter is seemingly impossible for me to understand. It is the hardest class I've taken so far because everything else was like, it's overwhelming. Sure, it's like tricky, confusing sometimes, but like it was just about getting down and like nitty gritty and like it's fine. Like professors are great. The resources available were great. For this class, don't even get me started. Not as many good resources. Like professors not that great for the way I learn and whatever. So I'm like really, really struggling. I'm needing to put in like quadruple amount of effort into this class. And I also don't give a peep about this subject matter, which is like frustrating because I have to be putting in so much time into it. But I'm giving it my all, and I need to become besties with it so that I can pass the class and, you know, move on with my life. So it's 12:30. I'm gonna go to mass at 7:30. So what is that, like 4 hours that I have? We'll see what happens. I'll keep y'all updated. Okay, an update. It's 2 o'clock. I still haven't finished what I wanted to finish. I'm like not even halfway, like a third of the way done, because instead I decided to do some research for a trip that my friends and I are doing to our friend's house in New Mexico for New Year's Eve. Yeah, and I decided to waste my time doing that. And was been freaking distracted as heck on Instagram and whatever. I've been following a lot of like new accounts on like home decorating and like wellness and blah blah blah, which makes no sense because I ain't got time for that. And I am literally having housing issues. Like, don't even know if I'll be in the same place that I'm at right now. So why am I looking at wellness things? Who knows? But I decided, I'm hungry, so I decided I'm gonna try my soup that I made. It's the first time I make it. It's the first time I make this type of soup or even have a soup like this. And I decided that I'm gonna watch a show of my favorite, an episode of my favorite show. Yeah, mom makes up. That are literally like an outreach, so yay me. It's called Living a Little. And as you all saw, I literally turned on my Christmas lights. Let me show you all the soup. Here's my soup. Creamy style with some bread.
Nosotros formamos parte de tu proyecto y tú del nuestro. Una familia, ¿entiendes? Voy a tener que vender.
Tú has hecho todo lo que podías por salvar las galerías, baby. Pero yo aún no. Hazlo y salva las galerías.
Ana, ¿por qué me haces esto?
No me lo pongas más difícil.
Yo me voy a casar con Cristina para que la gente conserve su puesto de trabajo, Ana. No puedo. Pero a lo mejor la solución de Ana no es tan mala.
I think I added too much spices, or I'm just not used to these spices. They had cumin. Okay, I'm used to these spices. Maybe I put too many. Cumin, salt, pepper, and chicken bouillon. But it also had ginger, and I never cook with ginger. And I feel like ginger is a strong taste. So that might be the case. But either way, it's tasty. Has a bunch of vegetables, so I'm gonna stay healthy. I'll tell you after this 1 hour episode that I'm gonna watch in bed. It is 7 o'clock. I ended up watching 2 episodes, so I spent 2 hours literally in bed watching that show. I knew it was probably a bad idea to like start it in bed, but oh well. But I did finish updating my evidence outline, and I sent 1 email, and I got ready, and now I'm gonna go to mass, and then when I come back, I have my to-do list that I'm gonna do. I think in order to like advance, I'm gonna read for evidence, which I usually do Mondays, but I haven't read for community property because I'm on call, so I need to save time for that. So I'm gonna read for evidence when I come back, send a couple more emails, and then call it a night. We'll see. I don't want to go to sleep that late today because I want to start off a good week, and I want to go on a run tomorrow morning because I wanted to do that over the weekend and I didn't. So I'm gonna do that. I'll update you when I come back.